Hey, what is up guys? Angel here. Welcome to the channel. It's been a while since I've actually sat down and made a regular commentary video, but here we are, and today I wanted to give my first impressions on the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War multiplayer reveal. It was revealed earlier today, September the 9th. Now obviously watching gameplay and actually playing a game are pretty different experiences, so I'm going to have another video out when the beta comes out. But for now, these are just my initial thoughts from what I was able to see from the reveal and from other content creators. I want to try not to make this video too long, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Also, a quick note about the gameplay in the background. I apologize for the lack of audio. It was a recording issue I had, but it should be fixed in my next video. So I'm just going to have music playing in the background so it's not awkwardly quiet, so I do apologize about that, but hopefully y'all do enjoy the video as well as the gameplay. So I'm just going to be kind of going over all the information that was revealed today in no specific order, and if I do leave anything out, I do apologize. So I'm going to start with the creative class. The classic creative class system is coming back. There's no pick 10 or anything. There is Gunsmith, however, which I really like. I'm really glad they decided to bring it back. I just love the amount of customization that comes with the Gunsmith system. You can even have up to 8 attachments with the wildcard, which we'll get to in a second. So really good decision on their part. All of the perks look really good. I'm especially glad to say that Dead Silence is returning as a perk. It's actually in the same perk slot along with Ghost and Cold Blooded, so perk 3 slot is definitely going to be a tough choice. Field upgrades are also returning along with wildcards, and with wildcards they have like 4 of them I think in the alpha. They have one that lets you have 8 attachments on your guns. They have one that lets you have 6 perks. They also have one called Lawbreaker, which lets you pick 2 primary weapons and whatever perks you want. It doesn't matter what slot they're in. I'm also glad to say you're going to be able to customize your classes in-game, which is something I've gotten used to in Modern Warfare, so I'm really glad that's returning. Standard minimap is back. You know, whenever you shoot, you're going to show up as a red dot on the minimap, which thank God, because that's part of what ruined Modern Warfare for me, so I'm really glad that the regular standard minimap is returning. Theater mode also seems to be returning. It was actually able to be seen in the menu of the alpha that all the content creators were playing, so I'm assuming it's coming back. You know, they could take it out before the launch of the game, but I really don't see them doing that, seeing as how many people actually like theater mode, so hopefully that's there to stay at launch. The gameplay in general seems really fast paced, especially compared to Modern Warfare, which is a plus in my opinion. Sliding is in the game as expected. Slide canceling has also made a return, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure a developer has said that they are currently tweaking or working on it, so I don't know if slide canceling is going to be a thing or how it's going to be in the beta or in the final build at launch. But as of right now, in the alpha version that was being played today, slide canceling is a thing. There's no doors and no mounting, thank God. There's also no tactical sprint, which I didn't mind in Modern Warfare, but admittedly it is a lot easier on the thumbsticks. There is, however, unlimited sprint. Auto health regen is back, and the time to kill appears to be a little bit shorter than Black Ops 4. Health bars can also be seen over the enemies just like in Black Ops 4, but this can actually be turned off in the settings. So if you don't like it, you can just toggle it off. So with all that, the core gameplay seems to be really good on paper. Obviously, I'm still going to have to play it in order to make a more accurate judgment, but as of right now, I do like what I'm hearing and seeing about the core gameplay of Black Ops Cold War. Now let's move on to the maps. There were 5 maps, I believe, that were shown. There was Miami, Satellite, Moscow, Armada, and Crossroads. Miami was like the night one that was shown off that leaked gameplay. That one looks like it has some pretty good potential. Satellite was the desert map. Admittedly, I don't know how I feel about this map. I feel like it's just way too big and open. But I mean, then again, there was one part of the map that was kind of like more closed in, close quarters. So I guess we'll just have to see how that one plays. Moscow was another 6v6 map that looks like it has some pretty good potential. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it. I just saw like a bunch of buildings and stuff, so I don't know. Apparently it's a 3-lane map. I'm just gonna have to see how it plays in the beta, but it looked like a decent map. Now Armada, I'm not gonna lie, I do not think this map is gonna play very well. This was the one that was set in the North Atlantic that had like 3 warships that you could zipline and swim across. I just don't think this is gonna make for very good gameplay. I don't know if it's actually gonna be a 6v6 map. It might just be a ground war map, which we'll get to later, but I don't know. I just don't have very high hopes for it, but hey, I could be wrong. The 5th and final map they showed off was Crossroads. This is a snowy, kind of a wide open map. It seems like a pretty large map too. I think it's a 6v6 map, but there's actually like snowmobiles and vehicles that you can drive around on it, which I'm not really sure how to feel about that. I just don't really think that vehicles belong in regular 6v6 COD game modes. Just kinda seems like something that should stay in Ground War. Moving on to game modes, there were a few new game modes announced today, the first of which being Combined Arms, which is basically going to be Black Ops Cold War's version of Ground War. It's 12v12 domination with like 5 different points on the map, and it goes up to a score limit of 400. It's got vehicles, boats, tanks, all that shit. A few key differences in this game mode as opposed to Modern Warfare's Ground War is obviously it's 12v12 and not 32v32. And there's actually no squad spawns in this game mode at the moment, which I think is a huge mistake. I personally think a game mode like this should definitely have squad spawns. And I've heard a lot of content creators say that the game mode does not play well, partially due to the lack of squad spawns and the overpowered vehicles. So right now I'm not very optimistic about this game mode, especially since I'm already one who prefers 6v6 anyway. But I'll still give it a try in the beta if it's available. The next game mode is VIP Escort, which is kind of like Search and Destroy. One person on your team is randomly chosen as the VIP. If you are the VIP, you spawn in with only a pistol and smoke grenades and nothing else. You have to escort the VIP to one of 2 extraction points on the map, and it is a one life mode, kind of similar to Cyber Attack in the fact that when you die, you actually don't die immediately. You just get downed with a chance to be revived. This game mode does sound like a lot of fun, and I'm definitely excited to give it a try when the beta comes out. There was also one other game mode called Fireteam. I don't think they showed any gameplay of it or anything, but it's basically 10 teams of 4, and you have to complete certain objectives or something like that. I haven't seen any gameplay of it, and to my knowledge there is none, but it definitely sounds interesting, so I'll be giving that one a try. And then I think my favorite piece of news when it comes to game modes is the fact that Control from Black Ops 4 is returning. It was a really good competitive game mode, and I'm super excited to see it come back. Hopefully it'll be part of the CDL game modes, because I just feel like Control plays so much better than Domination when it comes to competitive. They did touch on the progression system very briefly, but not much. All they basically said was that Warzone and Black Ops Cold War are going to be tied in terms of progression, kind of like Modern Warfare is. But other than that, they really didn't say much. They didn't specify whether it was going to be a season rank system or a prestige rank system, which I'm really hoping for prestige mode to come back. I think the majority of the COD community is. They did, however, say that they were going to be announcing it out within the coming weeks, so hopefully we'll have some good news on that pretty soon. Now the final thing I want to talk about, I'm not super excited about, but I'm also trying to keep an open mind about, is the score streak system. So I'm sure most of you guys know by now, but the score streak system in this game is a little bit different. Your progress doesn't reset upon death, so it's basically kind of like Requisitions from COD World War II, if you guys remember that. The score streaks do, however, apparently have very high values, so you can't just sit in a corner all game and, get a free chopper gunner. You have to actually go out and be getting a bunch of kills and, playing the objective. And there is actually a cooldown on streaks to prevent streak spam. And when you start going on a kill streak, you will actually start gaining more score per kill towards your streaks. So I don't really know how to feel about this system yet. Obviously, I'm going to give it a chance. I just don't really like the idea of your progress not resetting upon death, because for one, in my eyes, that rewards bad players who wouldn't otherwise be able to get those streaks. And number two, it also limits good players who would normally getting 3 or 4 sets of streaks per game in any other Call of Duty game, because they set these super high ridiculous point values to compensate for this system, and they also have to throw in the cooldown, which is another limit. So I just don't really like the idea of this system overall, but obviously I'm going to give it a chance. So I will save any other criticism videos on the score streak system until I have actually played it in the beta. I do want to say, however, that I really would have preferred the regular score streak system. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. All in all, my first general impression of Black Ops Cold War is that the game looks really good, the gameplay is really good. The game looks really promising. It looks like it's got a lot of potential. I liked pretty much almost everything that I saw except for the score streak system, and I'm also a little bit hesitant about the Combined Arms 12v12 mode, but 6v6 definitely looks good, and I am super excited to play it next month. Again, this is just my personal opinion, and these are just my initial impressions based off of what I saw. I'm going to have a whole nother video talking about my opinion of the game when the beta comes out and I'm actually able to get my hands on the game. So hopefully this game lives up to my expectations. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully y'all did enjoy it. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more if you did. And comment down below what you think of Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's going to be better or worse than Modern Warfare? y'all have a good day, and I will see y'all in the next one.